Love, let's talk about love. Is it anything and everything you fall? I got a feeling on you. I got a feeling on you. Stars are closer. Oh, stars are closer. Oh, stars are closer. Let me know. Oh, stars are closer. Oh, stars are closer. Oh, stars are closer. Hey there, it's been a while. It's not like I haven't gotten any breakthrough in my philosophies. It's just that it's a bit too much, you know. It's always a bit too much because our brains are they like get become our brains go into manual mode when we try to explain the things, the magic, let's say. I mean, even if our subconscious knows, for our consciousness, it's still just magic. The things, the emotions like love, sadness, it's all kind of things that just happen, you know. We don't explain it, we don't describe it, not even to ourselves, because there has to be that magic. Because what's magic if you just give away the magic trick, right? So that's why it's actually a bit, it takes a toll, right? So it takes a toll. And like just a few days ago I wrote like the beats were on and I wrote like 10-15 verses for different songs. And after that I was feeling empty. I don't know, it almost not like empty, it wasn't peaceful, it felt like there's a hole in my heart, like my brain just figured things out and now it's scared, it's patronized, it's like, oh my, really, that's how this all works. Like, you know, if, like that's the thing, our subconscious is like 400 times stronger than our consciousness, and that's why it does thousands of calculations before giving you the decision. And that's how it works. We don't know what happens in those calculations, we're not supposed to know. But the wider your conscious gets, it starts taking the toll, right? And yeah, so that's why I've been taking breaks in the breakthroughs, because I wouldn't want my brain to go insane. And this is just, I'm just fidgeting with this because just had some coffee like half an hour ago, and the caffeine in my bloodstream is at peak and I'm anxious right now. Alright, we're talking about magic, right? We're talking about love. Let's get started. So just yesterday, it's not like, I mean, with my friends we always keep talking about philosophies. Of course we talk about other stuff too, but like philosophy is like the main topic for conversations, subject to be precise. So much so that one of our friends, he's just sometimes sits in the position is like, let's get started, let's talk about love. Is it anything and everything you for? I get a feeling on you. on you. So, what's the feeling? Like, what is this feeling that we are talking about when we're in love, when we're feeling the love? What is it? Although he was adamant on love because that's what most people pursue, and because of course it's like the key of the universe in a way. And so he asked me, and he was like he couldn't put his words together because I don't know, he was asking something like love, what's love like. He started off by saying that you're experienced, you're in a relationship for like 7, 8, 9 years maybe. I'm like, yeah. And so you know what's what and what's not. And so I'm like, ask away. And he was asking, he was beating around the bush, beating around the concept of being together for a long time. It was like, you're with her, right? And you've done everything. And in general, like people who stay together for years, they go out, they have fun, they talk, they go into social settings, right? They go on trips, they have fun together, they talk, of course, and they tolerate each other and stuff. But he was just beat around the bush, and I was like, are you asking how am I not getting bored? He's like, yes. that's 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 basically what he was trying to ask. I just didn't have words, and even after that I started explaining lots, everything. And I was like, are you talking about this, are you talking about this? And it's like, no, it's not. I mean, he didn't know what he wanted, and that's why he didn't have the proper question to ask about love, what he really needed at that time. But I still kept giving it to him, and I don't know if he got it at the end, but none of us do, right? That's the magic of love and everything, to be honest. And so yeah, we talked, and I explained why we never got bored. It's not it We can't get bored of the person, because the thing is that it's never enough with the person that you love, that you are in love with. It's never enough. Doesn't matter how many times we met, doesn't matter how many times we've touched. It's never enough. Even after like a minute of parting ways, we start missing each other. And some might argue that that's what oxytocin does, and I agree. But I would also believe that it's much more than just a chemical reaction. you know it's much more, because it's, yes, the physiological effects, everything, it's all true. But there's more to it, I believe, that because at some point you have to, like, compromise, not just for the person. Even that person has to compromise for you, but for the sake of the relationship, you gotta. And when you're in love, it doesn't really, it's not something that you do. It's just something that happens, naturally. You naturally compromise things, you naturally sacrifice things without a second thought. That's what being all in means. All in for her, and she's all in for me. That's what really matters. That's what really love is. And but he was still, his I realized later that his mind was wandering around, wanting to find someone, right? That's tricky, I said, because honestly, you have to date, of course. You have to date lots of people if you can't find the one. and of course you might have to settle for less, and there's all aspects to it, and it comes down to luck. It comes down to luck, how lucky you are to find someone in a cafe or a club or a bar, right? So yeah, but that got me into thinking. Like, we sat for a few minutes and I was just thinking about finding someone, the individuality, right? And that's when I realized that when we look at a person, right, as an individual, like, I'm sitting here in the bar, I'm looking at her, right? She's laughing, she's talking, right? I look at her, the way she is, her personality, and her voice, and her hair, and her eyes. As an individual, she's an individual. I'm not thinking about about our future together or anything. I'm just looking at her, admiring her, adoring her, right? And that's when what I would feel might feel like love, might feel like, yeah, maybe she can be the one. Maybe she's not the one. She can be, but she's not. Why? Because what I'm feeling is actually attraction, right? And that's the thing about attraction and love. The key difference between attraction and love is that you look at the person individually, that's when you feel attraction. And when you look at the person as your partner, or not just or any relationship, let's say a friend, right? Let's say he's stupid, he's dumb. I can't bear to have a conversation with him, but he's a friend. We shared pens, right, in a classroom, so he's a friend, so I have to hang out with him, I have to tolerate him, I have to engage him. And that's the thing about that's love, right? Not any relationship. Like, personally, I for a certain amount of time, I was I couldn't I looked at my mom, and I was feeling, I felt like I hated her. Right? Because I was looking at her as an individual, and as an individual who talks anything, who asks obvious questions, and it kind of irritated me because I looked at it as a person, right? But then I later realized that I have been in observation mode because of the work I've been putting in, because of the chapters of the book that I'm writing. I was in the work mode, in the observer mode, that I had to rationalize everything, I had to define everything. And so, yeah, that was just a phase. But then I realized that no, I have to look at the people, look at the relationship that I have with them. And then it all turned around. I found my love back for my girl when I started looking at her as my girlfriend, not just a teacher who's in the school that we studied together. And when I looked at her individually, right? She's an individual. She's the girl, right? That's when I feel attracted more to her. That's why so many people do role play, because that's the whole gist. And you can't be like, I look at the person individually. No, you can look at the person as an individual and as whatever they are to you, right? And when you look at a person as an individual, you feel that attraction. You feel this attraction. What's the word for it? It's you wanna make them more happy. You wanna make them smile. You wanna make them laugh, right? And that's why, in order to do that, you have to look at them as your partner. You have to get into the relationship with them in order to fall in love. You can't just fall in love and then get into a relationship. That's stupid. Yes, you might keep thinking about the dream. You can keep thinking about the things that you would do in the future when we're gonna be in a relationship. We're gonna talk like this, we're gonna go here, we're gonna have fun. You can think about all that, and that's when you fall in love with the relationship, with the person, along with the relationship. You know? So, in order to love someone, you have to look at them as your partner. And in order to be attracted to someone, you have to look at them as an individual. You know? And he asked, so yeah. And so I said, it's a trip, it's a journey that you both have to go through together to cultivate what you both have for each other. You have to grow it, you have to bring it up like it's your kid, right? The relationship. And that's it. You have to wing it, you have to risk it all. You can't just sit around waiting for the one. And like I said, it comes down to luck. You might be lucky enough to find someone who is great as an individual, and of course you have to judge them as an individual. You have to get attracted to them first, and then calculate what that person might be in the relationship. Now you might hate that person as an individual, but you might love them as a partner. And you might love them as an individual and hate them as a partner. And that's where it gets tricky. That's where it's about bad luck. That you fall in love with a red flag when you hate them as an individual. It's rarely opposite, to be honest, because we're almost always able to understand what kind of person they are and what kind of person they would be in a relationship, like in social settings, what kind of vibe that they would be bringing to the function, what kind of wine that they would bring to the table, right? And it's all risky, it's all surprise all the time. And that's the magic of it, you know? That's the magic of a relationship. You can't just find someone, you have to fall in love to know if they are the one. You might fall in love with anyone, they might not be the one. And it's not always written, it's not always like let's say you're in a relationship and the person changed, right? Like they started acting weird, started getting mad or obsessed with something, and you ask yourself, was that person in there the whole time? It's really not the thing. It's just I believe it can be defined with phases, because like I go through lots of phases. Like I'm emotional, I'm sensitive, you know. I cry every once in a while listening to old songs and watching some emotional scenes, some shows or movies, right? Sensitive. And lots of people are, but some of them have switched it off because life, right? I haven't been hit by life yet. I'm unemployed, right? That's why I'm living it and I'm winging it. But many people wouldn't like it. Even my girl, she's like, gotta, we gotta get on your legs, right? You gotta get on your feet and run so that we can be together. And it's been a hard time. But it's fine. It's not like I'm not doing. It's not like I'm not trying. She understands that, of course, and she doesn't have a problem. She's fine. She's like, yeah, okay, do it at your pace, and that's what I love about her. That's what I love, and that's not the reason why I love her. Of course, my loving her is not because she loves me. It's because I love her existence. You know, her existing, her being there, her being my partner. That's what love is. You can't, so that's it. You can't find someone. You have to find someone. You have to look for them. And you have to have faith. You know, you have to have faith in humanity. You have to have faith in the opposite gender. You can't be toxic and still find, can't be toxic and still keep looking for someone who would just accept your demands and standards. You have to let go of yourself in order to fall in love with the person you felt attracted to. That's the whole gist. Yeah. So it's all, the bottom line is attraction is when you look at them as an individual, and you will only fall in love with them when you experience the relationship with them, not just in your mind. You don't know what kind of person they are. You don't know what kind of reaction they would have to your jokes or your taunts. You can't just daydream. You have to experience it. You have to understand them, and then you have to accept them the way they are. It's a long journey. There's no love at first sight. Stupid, that's distraction. You just like the color of her eyes. That's not love. That's attraction. And people say that you have to love yourself before you love someone else, but I don't believe that. Because I believe that you can never truly love yourself. You know why? Because you know yourself, you know your demons. Even though they're not you, but they are your demons, right? You can never forgive yourself. Yes, you do over time, but like, you can never really truly love yourself. That's where the mentorship concept comes, of having a guru, and it's a really powerful thing. That's for another video, of course. But yeah, you might love your vibe, like my vibe is playing video games, right? Let's say, and she doesn't like it, and if I love her more than my vibe, more than myself, of having to indulge in stimulation, and then I'll stop, then I'll keep it down a notch and go talk to her, sit with her, and have a conversation. That's a little compromise, just an example. So when you love someone more than yourself, that's when you make those compromises. And like I said, seamless. It happens. You don't do it. It happens to you. Yes, that's pretty much all about love. Love is tricky. It's definitely tricky. It can't be explained in words that easily in like 25 minutes. It's nothing. But I'd like to have and keep that magic, that ignorance, when we call it a weird feeling, when we call it butterflies in stomach, right? That's the beauty of love, and people have stranded away from it, and I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that people have let go of love